Today we've got it. We are going to reveal to you my favorite, but probably the least appreciated guitar in Taylor's entire lineup. We're not going to show you right now. Stay tuned. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
I'm Cooper. My back hurts.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our Teespring store link below for our custom designed t-shirts. And Cooper is hunched over because we are going to reveal to you right now, if you haven't read the description or the title yet, what the most underappreciated guitar in Taylor's entire lineup is. Okay, are you ready, Cooper?
I'm more than ready.
Okay. All right, show everybody.
There we go.
Well, you gotta do better than that. This is more of a reveal here. Come on.
I was not informed we were doing that.
That's okay. We're professionals here. It's all on the fly. So, Cooper, what is this least appreciated?
Yeah, we got the T3B
For
Bigsby. Yeah, not to be confused with the TB2W.
Yes,
Yeah.
not to be confused with the pedal. So this is the Taylor T3B. It's also available as the T3 without the Bigsby with a stop tail. And I am going to tell you right now, I believe that the T3 is the least appreciated guitar in Taylor's entire lineup. It doesn't have the sales history it should. It doesn't get the respect or really just the visibility, the response, the reviews, anything that it really should for being as cool of a guitar as it is. And I don't know that I quite understand the reasons, because if you go back in time, this guitar was introduced at the NAMM show in 2009.
Wow.
Which seems like forever ago, right?
Yeah.
And guess what happened when this guitar was unveiled at NAMM?
People loved it.
It won Best New Product.
Really?
It did. It won Best New Product at the NAMM show.
Wow.
And I think for very good reasons, which we're going to show you today. But for whatever reason, it hasn't gotten the limelight or attention that the T5 does, which it's obviously based upon.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's still here where the solid bodies have been gone.
Yeah.
But, you know, Taylor is known as, I mean, they are an acoustic guitar company, primarily, first and foremost. But they make some really cool electric guitars. The T5, the T5Z, and the T3, and the T3B, which is what we have here. And they're all unique in their offerings, and I think this happens to be probably one of the least understood semi-hollow, hollow body guitars that's on the market. And you've gotten to play it today.
Yeah.
So before we get into the specs, I just want to know your playing experience, what you thought.
I think, you know, it looks very pretty, so it automatically you want to play, you want to try it out. It's very comfortable, as all Taylors are, but the best part about it is the sound. Like most of the time with nice, pretty guitars, the sound, it's hard to live up to the visual precedent that's been set. The sound on this guitar is really amazing. That's my takeaway. I have a final thought. I'll save it to the end.
Okay.
But yeah, tell me about the specs, because looking at it, it looks pretty simple. There's some really fun hidden stuff that I learned about today. So go for it.
Well, let's talk about some of the construction first. Let me grab the guitar here real quick, because it's a pretty good sized guitar, and with the Bigsby, it's got some heft to it.
Yeah.
But in this space, it does,
I know,
right?
yeah.
In this space, some of the more common or more popular models would be like something from Gretsch, ES335s, that kind of thing. And I think this definitely holds its own and has very similar construction to a lot of those things. But since it is based upon the T5, the larger T5, it is a sapele body that's been hollowed out, and it has a top of layered maple, just like a ES335 is a laminated maple top. Although these all have figure, whereas you got to spend north of $3,000 to get a figured ES335, and Gretches are never like figured maple or anything. It's either flamed maple or quilted maple. And again, that's on top of a sapele body. Now, some unique things that are true of T5s and T3s is this connection at the body. So just like the acoustic guitars, it's a bolt-on neck, but it's a little different. This neck joint is using what's called an interference joint, and so there's one bolt that holds it on, because the way the neck joins the body is that there's basically some kind of, there's like tension, and so that is all it needs. It doesn't need any side-to-side securing because it's like a jigsaw puzzle in the way that it fits in there.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool. And of course, it's adjustable with shims, just like all of their other high-tech stuff. Now, something else that you might think is really cool about this guitar is that it's really thin.
Yeah.
It's really thin, and yet you've got this fully suspended hollow top, gives you a lot of nice warmth and mid-range that you'd expect from a hollow body or semi-hollow body guitar. I'll let you have it back.
Thank you.
We'll talk about some of the other specs going on. So this guitar is available, like I said, with differing hardware, either with the stop tail piece or the Bigsby. I think the Bigsby's cool. Even if you don't know how to use it, get the Bigsby and then figure out how to use it. But
yeah.
I think it looks great and it's fantastic vibrato. The pickups on this are the Taylor high definition humbuckers, which is their own proprietary design. You can also opt to purchase this with like Alnico style, kind of PAF style humbuckers as well, which are a little bit warmer, but we both really liked these pickups because the high definition is spot on.
It suits the guitar better,
It does.
I think,
So you've got warmth that you'd expect out of a humbucker, but there's no muddiness. There's a lot of really nice definition there. Hi-fi, basically. It is an actual Bigsby tailpiece with a roller bridge, so there's no friction there. And then you've got these nice Taylor-specific knobs that are affixed here just under their stylized kind of F-holes that they've got. So all in all, it's a really fantastic, beautiful-looking guitar. It's available in a number of finishes. And I just think it just doesn't get the love. And I think one of the reasons for that is people don't understand some of its secret weapons, some of its superpowers that it's got. And you got to experience those firsthand. So do you want to tell us what it's got?
Yeah, for sure. So like most nice humbuckered guitars, a big added feature is the ability to split the coil. So on your volume knob, it's a push-pull. You can pull out that knob and it'll split your coils. So you can work your way through, neck, both, and then the bridge in humbucker style, which I will happen to do in the demos that are forthcoming. And then at any point you can kick it on and have really nice single coil sounds. So that's great. But the coolest part is the tone knob, really.
Yeah, the volume is the one you pull for the split coil because the tone knob does its own thing.
Yeah, and I'm going to try and explain it. You might have a better way, but basically, you think about rolling off your tone knob, you take away some of the high end, you get that sort of muffled, but lends itself to a little woman tone or something like that.
Yeah, nice jazzy feel too.
So in its standard position, not pulled, if you roll off that tone knob, it boosts the mid-range frequencies, which is just an awesome thing. And if you didn't know that it was in there, you might just think that your tone knob isn't working properly. But it's a really, really cool sound. And then when you pull it out, it becomes a real, regular tone knob kind of situation that rolls off the high frequencies.
Yeah.
I just think about if you were a person that is going to be using this and putting a little overdrive on, and you have that good overdriven tone, and then you want to stick out in a solo or something, being able to basically roll off but roll on your mid-range boost.
Yeah.
What a cool feature to have.
Yeah, I mean, let's spend some time talking about how cool that is. So the tone having two different versions is extremely powerful. And I'm on record of saying I don't think guitar players use their volume and tone controls enough. Most people leave them on 10 and they play. There's a lot of nuance you can get, a lot of versatility that you can get with guitar. And in fact, some of your favorite songs that you've heard from artists of the past, like Dire Straits and stuff, the sound that they got was with the tone and volume controls. So by using the tone control to not roll off highs, but instead to peak mids, to your point, it has a lot of versatility. So if you're playing lead with overdrive, what you're doing is effectively what a lot of guitarists buy something like a tube screamer for.
Yeah.
You are peaking your mids because your mids are going to cut through the mix and give you a really nice round note tone, which is really fantastic. If you're not playing overdrive, you're getting this half-cocked wah sound when you have these mids peaked. And so it's a really cool, quacky sound that you can do a lot of things with.
And it presents itself in different ways through each of the pickups.
Right, whether
it's
depending upon the pickup you're on or whether or not the pickups are split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying my best in this demo to work up and down the pickups with all the different options. And as I said, there's not a bad sound in this guitar because the bass of all of it, being the pickups, are so pretty and clear sounding.
And the nice thing with this is, given that, again, the tone does two things. If you pull the tone out, you start rolling off those highs. A hollow body guitar with a Bigsby with the highs rolled off is like jazz goodness.
Yeah.
It's really, really fantastic. And so out of this guitar, which has Taylor's impeccable workmanship, there's nothing wrong anywhere on this guitar.
Yeah.
You get incredible versatility out of it.
Totally.
So it's really fantastic. If you don't believe me, just turn on your ears and listen to what Cooper does on it. Check it out. So there you have it, a demonstration and an explanation for exactly how cool Taylor's T3 lineup is, and I'm partial to this T3B.
Yeah.
In fact, I would like to add one of these to my collection. It's an incredibly versatile guitar.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny is another guitar I've said on this channel, I'm wanting an ES335.
Yeah.
Rhett Schull recently did a video where he talks about his, and he talks about being just one of the most versatile guitars you can have. The only thing I can think of being more versatile than a 335 is this.
Yeah.
Just because of the controls that you have and the response of the pickups.
Yeah, I've never seen a guitar with a mid-range boost knob like that. Something like that seems like it would be an on and off kind of thing instead of a spectrum that you could play with a little bit. The other thing is on a push-pull, I haven't seen much where you have that kind of control over two different effects on the same knob. It's usually the same effect, like say being tone or volume, and then the push or pull works on something different, splitting the coils. But it's just such a cool thing, and it's not like if you wanted to bypass that and have your tone knob be a real tone knob, it doesn't make it like it sticks out. Like the design is so compact and nice that it's a very subtle change. But I think it's just a really cool thing to have. My first thought was rockabilly because of some of those tones and, you know, the kind of the body, it all kind of, the Bigsby especially. And another note, I realized after playing the demos that I didn't even touch the Bigsby once. So I know that it's there. I was too lost in the controls. And you know what a Bigsby sounds like.
Nice warble.
Yeah, it's like a wow, you know, like one of those. But
How?
I don't know, something like that. It's like I got so distracted by how cool the controls were. I didn't touch the Bigsby. It works, all right. The Bigsby works. There we go, dude. That's it. That's what the sound I made.
You know, one of the things, so there are other guitars that have had kind of a mid-peaking tone control. Fender's done it, you know, with some stuff.
With what? I've never heard of that.
Lincoln Brewster's guitar has it. Eric Clapton's guitar has it. But here's the problem.
I didn't get to play Lincoln Brewster's because Chris bogarted that guitar.
Because I played it.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with those compared to this is you give up normal tone control to have that circuit.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and usually they couple it with an increase in amplitude, so it drives the guitar more. So you're dealing with change of frequency, but also, you know, just a hotter output.
Yeah.
Which can be problematic. With this, one, it's not changing the volume of the guitar, and two, you don't have to give up your tone control.
Yeah.
And so I really think that Taylor nailed it with this type of implementation.
Yeah, totally. The pickups and the controls make this guitar very articulate, very specific. Like you can get the exact tone that you want. Sometimes I feel like my problem with hollow and semi-hollow body guitars is it's easy for them to get out of control. And it's like the opposite with this guitar. Like you feel very in control of the tone. Are you ready for my big statement?
I'm ready.
I'll take this over a T5 any day. That's a big deal because I do like T5s and T5Zs a lot. I fell in love with this guitar today. I had never gotten to play one. I think it's vastly underrated. And I'm not just saying that because I know there's a guy that's waiting for this video to want this guitar. But it has exceeded all expectations, you know.
I'm going to tell you, I think there's a lot of people that are in that same boat. Where I think this guitar came from, the T5 came first.
Yeah.
And after the T5 came, again, the T5 is a hybrid. It's designed to do acoustic and electric stuff.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people kept saying to Taylor, this is an amazing guitar. You know what? I don't need the acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of, early on, there were a bunch of iterations with like, you know, the little lipstick pickup down here? There was another one up here, you know, and then they'd lose like the body sensor. Like there were a bunch of iterations. And then finally, David Hostler, who's the guy who was designing all the pickups back then, he's retired down in Florida. Hey, David, very cool guy. He developed a lot of this pickup technology. I think the response was a lot of people want a T5 that's not a hybrid. So let's give it to them.
Yeah.
And this is what came out of it. And yeah, it's a very cool guitar.
Yeah, totally.
And if you don't need the acoustic part, why would you want to keep, like, by getting rid of the acoustic stuff, you could do all this other cool stuff.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
So there you have it. In my opinion, the least appreciated guitar in Taylor's entire lineup is one of their coolest guitars that they make. And I have seen some of these with like the coloring and like this one's really nice. I saw a quilted one at the factory that was natural that I was just like, huh. So some beautiful options. If you are interested in a guitar like this, maybe the stop tail piece, you're interested in the finishes or anything, go to our website, it's alamomusic.com. You can see all the detailed specs on this guitar, and you can chat with someone. There are options on this with finish. The flamed versus quilted is based upon availability. This is available in their custom shop order program. And you can also change things out, like the pickups to the Alnico ones. That'd be cool to do as a comparison sometime.
That would be very cool.
To compare this with the other ones. And also you can swap out the pickups really easily. You don't even have to do soldering. I think they're Nomex connectors. So
that's very cool.
Pretty cool. Very, very cool guitar.
T3B.
Cooper's preferred.
It's my preferred
Taylor Electric.
Taylor Electric guitar now.
You heard it here first. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, keep coming back for more. If you want to check out some of the cool stuff we're doing on Patreon, we've got information on that in the description. You can learn how to become an Alamo Music Insider. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.